So here we are. It is currently not the day for us today that it is for y'all out there. You back me up on that? Come on, help me out. Help me out here.
Something.
I don't know where I am anymore. What day is it?
It's not today. Actually, today is Kermit's birthday, which is why.
No, it's not. You don't listen to me. It's Friday is my birthday.
Right.
The stream is supposed to be.
Right.
Oh, wait. So, yeah, okay, now I'm confused what day it is. Yeah, you're right. Today is my birthday because it's Friday now.
Happy birthday, Kermit! Everybody in the comments right now put happy birthday, Kermit. Now that that's out of the...
I hope they're doing it.
I hope they're doing it. I don't know. Where even am I right now? Let's talk about some questions because we've watched the trailer. It's super duper epic. It's awesome. And I have questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Naturally.
Yes.
You guys have questions?
I think the trailers made more questions than answers, to be perfectly honest.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I actually have more questions than before. This is funny. Yeah,
sure.
that's actually true. How did that happen? It's a magical video. So, question. The tornadoes, how often are they going to happen?
From what I'm told, at most once a year. But I don't think it's guaranteed every year. So, could or could not happen, but at most once a year.
Okay. Are they going to destroy more than the crops and the trees? We saw the crop that was kind of tore up. We saw the trees look like somebody went... "Yeah," and just chopped them up.
I think it was more like a...
Yeah.
Just say that one more time, just like you did.
Is it? Yeah.
It's kind of like you're breaking heart.
Yeah.
They will also destroy bales, but they're not going to destroy like buildings or vehicles or anything like that. Like it will affect your yield basically, whether it's a crop on the field or it's your bales or your trees in the forest. Like it'll affect those things, but no widespread damage of buildings and things like that, of course. So yes, it will destroy more than crops and trees because it'll destroy bales.
Interesting.
Okay.
That brings us kind of right into our question. You kind of answered this. Will it lift anything up though? Like, will it, if it goes over equipment or the player, will it like move them around? Will it affect the player anyway?
I don't believe so. No, I think that kind of goes hand in hand with the other answer. I didn't get this one confirmed 100%, so I could be wrong. And I would say don't quote me on it, but that's literally what you guys are doing. So,
Literally.
You guys don't quote him. We won't as well.
Are these events turn offable? Like, is it a setting that we can turn off, toggle on or off, or
Yes.
is it always on?
Yeah, you can turn them off if you prefer to not have them. Just like crop destruction in the game, like it's the same sort of thing here with the inclement weather that affects your crops as well.
Okay. Are there any other things that are turn offable? I can't believe you used that word. Is there anything other than tornadoes, for example? Or are there hurricanes that are going to come through? Do we have high wind gusts? Are there flooding? What's going
I don't
on?
believe that there's a hurricane. There is hail, which you'll now know this on Friday because it'll be announced.
This is new to me. I didn't actually know that there was hail.
I mean, it showed it a little bit in the trailer. I just think that people didn't pick up on it like at the beginning. Like they're kind of,
I watched it.
I think it was like
probably-
Twister. Ah.
Yeah, exactly.
So there is some hail as well. I don't know about anything else. And that's all in the blog that came out. It's Friday now, Thursday. It came out yesterday.
Totally read at this point and discussed. So refer to that.
Refer back to that. So we talked about, you just told us about the hail. So will hail destroy crops as well? Like, is there other environmental features that can destroy crops?
Yes, it can as well. It's just like the Twisters in that regard, in that like these new weather events can affect your yields, your fields, your bales, etc. Like from what I understand, and I can't confirm whether it has to be completely indoors or not, but the bales, if they're under a roof, they're going to be safe. If they're left out uncovered, then they're going to be susceptible to these weather events.
Okay, so kind of like the way bales worked in Seasons of Farm Sim 17. If they were
very much
uncovered,
so.
you've lost stuff. That is pretty cool. Question about the fog, because we've seen this. There's been so much fog. Fog's everywhere. Can we turn that off? Does it have to be so
you can't
just in your
turn.
face?
You can't turn the fog off. There's only visual changes for like the quality of them. But at this point, there's no way to toggle it on or off because it's part of like the atmosphere and the changes that we've made. So yeah, that's how it's working at this time.
Word.
Perfect.
Fair enough.
Seasonal cycles haven't been confirmed it's returning, but we're on the assumption we're going to have seasonal cycles once again.
Yes, they'll be back. And then going back to like the weather events, like if you do the fixed visual month, for example, in seasonal cycles, then a tornado can occur any time of year. But like if you have it on regular seasonal cycles, like it's for the warmer months, just like snow is for the colder months, tornadoes are the same for the warmer months. But if you do a fixed visual month, you can get anything anytime, just like you can already with snow in 22, doing a fixed visual month. So
interesting. Blizzard tornado, blizzard twister. Is that what nice. I'm have to try that.
That's what I heard. Let's go. Speaking of, so imagine you have like all this snow, right? Like a tornado would be insane, but like, do they get bigger? They get smaller? Are they taller? They skinnier? They more rounded? Tell me about the different sizes of tornadoes.
You're gonna love this answer. I have no idea.
I knew I wasn't gonna like it. You lied. Are they called tornadoes? Even in the
No, I believe we're going with the term twister. You may be feeling like, what's the difference? Like, I think they're interchangeable terms as far as like everyday language goes. But for us, like, we're signifying that these are not like giant, like T5 tornadoes, you know, because at the end of the day, they're affecting your field, your bales, but they're not going to destroy your entire town and things like that. So
Twister
we're going
sounds
with
more fun too, I think.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. It does. I say we go with twisters, but yeah, if you call them tornadoes, like I don't think it's technically wrong, but you know that's the official in-game wording.
According to ChatGPT, twisters are another name for tornadoes.
There
yeah, exactly.
If you believe ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Is there any other environmental changes to fields that will affect the yield, basically, that maybe could be mitigated by the player? Like if it was like a drought or anything like that, is that potential for anything in game?
I have no idea on that.
No answers on that?
The blog that just came out, we're only talking about tornadoes and hail, so anything beyond that, I really am not sure.
Okay. We talked about bales briefly. Do we have any different types of bales? I know we've got, of course, straw, hay, grass, and silage. Is there any other bale types coming that we know about that we could talk about?
Not that I'm aware of, but maybe. I have no idea.
Okay. And one more, since we're still down this vein, and I'm probably not going to get an answer out of this, but you never know. Field curing for hay, Kerm. A no tedding, like is that a possibility? Kind of like seasons from some 19 and from some 17.
That would be awesome. I really have no clue though.
Okay, I thought I'd ask. Yeah. Fair enough.
I do know I've had a bunch of grass in my yard, and I keep having to mow the same area 3 times just so I don't have all like these swaths of hay. Nobody needs a swath of hay in their front yard. So I crunch it up. Speaking of crunch it up, have you ever seen a baby cow eat food? It crunches it up. It's like num 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 num.
Why do you want to talk about baby cows all of a sudden?
We gonna talk about baby cows all of a sudden. So
that's a great segue, by the way.
We saw the baby cows. We saw the little baby piggies. Oh my goodness, so cute. And at the very end, we saw a baby goat, which at first I was like, is that a sheep? And then I heard it. I was like, that's not the sound sheep make. That is goat, is what that is. Are there any other baby animals, and do they come in different sizes? Because I swear I saw different sizes.
I don't know about the different sizes. The animals that we've announced so far are the ones you're used to, plus the water buffalo and goats. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I'm not 100% sure if every single animal has babies. Like horses weren't shown, for example. Chickens weren't shown, I don't believe either. So I think that's where your question's coming from. So I'm not really positive on that, so I can't give an answer. From what I've seen so far, it's just been those baby animals.
Okay. Are we getting the different breeds again with animals, like the different types of cattle and different types of whatever else we want to have? Is it different type of breeds again?
Yeah, it should be the same as it was. So like with the beef, you had the ones that are meant more for like the dairy production, and others that you raised and sold. So I think it's similar.
Goats, the new goats and the water buffalo. Is there different types of breeds potentially for those?
I don't know that. I think water buffalo is more just like a new cattle type, because in real life in Asia, like water buffaloes are still used as the tractor a lot of the time. So like
cow power.
Yeah. So
can you use them as
no,
tractors in game?
No. Okay. Let me finish where I was going with that. The two-part statement. So in real life they're like that, but in the game they behave more just like a different breed of cattle, where like they're in the production menu and provide dairy production, because we wanted to add them into the game with adding the Asian map, but we couldn't possibly set it up to use them as like to run your plow and stuff like that, because that's just not how our game's set up, obviously, with the machinery and such.
Fair. Have any of the game mechanics changed for animals? Do we feed them the same way? Do they produce the same things? Is all that basically the same?
Let me see. I think it's only a visual change. As far as I'm concerned, like babies don't provide products that can be sold. Only the adults do, for example. Okay. But yeah, it should be pretty similar to what you're used to.
Do the baby animals eat the same thing as the full-grown animals?
That's a great question. I don't know the answer to that one.
I know. What was it? Was it Sandy Bay back in the day that the baby cows, they were in a separate pen and you had to give them milk? If I remember correctly.
Something
I played a map like that too. Yeah.
I think there's some mods that have done something like that in 22 as well.
That was pretty cool. I like that.
It's neat. I'm curious to see.
Any special pins? Speaking of that, any special pins for the babies that you know of, or everything's just here's a cow pasture, that's where the cattle go?
Yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest.
Word. And then I asked about the multiple stages. Like newborns, adolescents. You said you really didn't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. All I know is that they're freaking adorable.
Pigs. I like the pigs, to be perfectly honest. The pigs might have been my favorite.
Show them the thing.
Oh, well, I mean, this one is...
Yeah.
I don't know who's more excited, me or him now.
That's what I'm talking about. Now, there is one thing about pigs that most people don't know. It's the most unknown fact about pigs. Right? You can buy them in either bushels or liters. Now, the big question about Farming Simulator 25 is,
what a segue.
Will we be able to set bushels and gallons instead of liters for our crops?
I don't believe so. So I was on another interview recently, and this question was in the list, and I had an answer then, and I can't remember what it is.
Do you remember who the interview was with?
It was with XR Renegade on Twitch, but like I'm pretty sure that I don't have an answer to this, because like I get why it's a big question for the North American audience, of course. But I don't know if it's N25, and if it is, it's likely just going to be like a toggle that like just changes it visually to like whatever the amount is. The hard thing with adding bushels into the game is it's not like an exact measurement for each thing that it's measuring. So like that would be, I'm not sure. I would love to see it in the game. It's of course at the top of the list for feedback I get from North American community members.
Yeah.
So I get why people want it, but I'm not sure if it's N25.
Fair enough. Yeah, it does. I mean, it definitely is not interchangeable. You can't take a 40,000 liter tipper and be like, oh, it holds 40,000 liter bushels.
Yeah.
Or 40,000 bushels. They're like, it holds how much?
Yeah. Right.
Fair enough. Glitchy Poo?
I was actually going to go back one just before we went back. I was looking through this.
Okay.
Still looking at animals, and I'm sitting here thinking about some of the stuff you were saying. Is there any field grazing? Are we aware of any of that at all yet? No, nothing.
I have no idea, to be honest.
Yeah, okay.
Like we're just now getting into like the first bit of information for like the new animals. Like we showed the water buffalo at launch.
Yeah.
We kind of had some info on it, and now the goats finally are shown.
I just saw some of the animations in the video. I mean, and the animations in last in Farm Sim 22 show. It looks like they're eting in the field. I guess that's the only reason I'm asking. I was like, well, maybe it's possible.
Right.
So, all right, we'll have to wait and see. I guess on that one.
It's a good question.
Can you harvest anything that's left over from the tornado? Is that still something we can do?
You can harvest the trees with the chainsaw. Yeah,
okay.
Like the destroyed trees with the chainsaw.
Yep.
Not at the moment with like logging machinery though.
Oh, so you have to fall the trees and then whatever's left over you can. Okay, interesting.
Yeah, you have to do it with a chainsaw at this point. Like, so here's the cool behind the scenes info of this is like I got a list of questions last night from you guys before we did the recording.
Yep.
And this morning I had a chat with Adrian from who's our head of QA now at Giants. He was recently promoted just a few weeks ago to that. He's been in QA for a while. And he was like, this is an awesome question. And then he just went silent and I knew what that meant. So he went off and actually pulled up the game because he was sitting at his desk and went in to see if in fact he could harvest a tree that had been destroyed by a tornado. So about 10 minutes later he came back and said yes with the chainsaw, but at this moment he was unable to get it to work with machinery.
Interesting. So it's almost like a different type of like the trees that you couldn't harvest back in like Silverwood or Silver Run.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, the big trees you couldn't harvest with certain sizes or whatever. That's interesting. Okay, that's cool.
Oh, yeah, and we also had dead trees on there too. That was.
I mean, so let's just say that could change as well. Like everything's still a work in progress. So it could end up being possible with machinery, but at least you can cut it down with the chainsaw. At that point, it's kind of just like damaged material that you want to clear out of the way, right? So.
Well, I didn't notice in the video at all, but is there any trees that fall like right down?
I have no clue. It's a good
like
question.
It'd be interesting if that was on the field. You had to clean it off the field, or it was in your way. Like you'd have to actually do some mitigation, almost, right? That'd be interesting. Okay.
Right. Yeah, I'm not sure though.
All right.
And what happens to the top of the tree? Now I'm starting to.
I got so many more questions now, right?
So many more questions. Where'd the tree go? So I did have one other question, but I don't know if you'll know the answer to this. So debris is picked up by the twisters. Where does that debris come from, or is it purely a visual thing? It seems like it's purely a visual thing.
Yeah, it's purely visual from what I understand, yeah.
Word. Speaking of visual, we haven't actually seen anything about the East Asian and Central European maps yet. Do we know when we will get to see them?
Well, you've already seen the European map a long time ago because it's Sri Lanka.
Right. Yep, we know that. Evidently, somebody at FarmCon said that on stage, although it was in German, so I didn't know.
I'm pretty sure I told you that as well. Like I've been pretty open about that. Yes, the European map is Sri Lanka, the premium edition, premium expansion map from 22. Right. The Asian map.
What's the name of the Asian map?
You'll find out at Tokyo Game Show because we'll be going there for the first time, and that's when the Asian map will be shown. And that's it's in early October, late September, somewhere in that time frame, like right before you. Whoa, let's not talk about that. Moving
on. Okay. So we got till October, and we'll be fine. Wait, it's still a ways away before we're going to find that information out. Then
that's a month and a half away.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, some of it may come out beforehand, but we're really holding a lot of the Asian map stuff naturally for Tokyo Game Show. So, really excited. We'll be going there for the first time. I know Boris will be there, and maybe some others as well. So, plenty more to come there.
All right.
Sweet.
Speaking of the map names and new maps, we kind of found out in this last trailer that the U.S. map is based in Arkansas. Is there any reason for?
It's not really. Like I think that the trailer gives that like kind of perception, but I think that like pretty sure that at the last I knew it, at least the license plates were Mississippi. So so like it's still really, yes, it's heavily inspired by Arkansas, but it's inspired by like the entire rice belt. So like for our maps, I think you can interpret it how you want, right? Like,
Yeah.
So if you want it to be Arkansas, then yeah, sure it is. But I don't think that we're gonna ever officially say yes, it's one place, because our maps are always more inspired by the region. So I think I don't know if Florian said this in the interview that GoHam and everyone else did at FarmCon, but originally what he told me was that he originally went for Mississippi as the inspiration, and so that's kind of why the license plates, at least at that time, were showing Mississippi. But then he moved away because we were adding rice as a crop, and for him, what he was looking in Mississippi, most of the land was too flat, so he wanted a little bit more like variation in elevation. So then he went and started looking at like places like Arkansas, but really it's just Mississippi River, like rice belt, kind of inspired in a general sense.
And apparently, the Mississippi River forms most of the border between Mississippi and Arkansas anyway. So
that actually that might narrow it down a little bit more, even in a way, right?
Well, it's kind of like Silver Run Forest. People were like, "Is it the Pacific Northwest of the U.S. or the Pacific Northwest of Canada?" Like, really just
it can be what you want it to be.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it's Idaho. Let's be honest.
I want the Pacific Northwest map back so I could do my mod testing better. That's what I want. Let's see. Do you want to talk about productions for a minute? Is this cool? Is this something we can do?
Yes.
All right. Tell me everything you know about the coaches right now.
So, are you meaning like the little stagecoach thing?
Yeah, the stagecoaches. Is it a production point? Is it a sell point? Why are they everywhere? And why are there no horses in front of them? Are they mechanized? Can you change them into blue? I need to know.
Can you tow them with horses?
You can't. So, think of these just like the
sailboat.
In Silver Run. So
sailboat. Okay.
You take the materials, and then once one of the stagecoaches is done, it'll be showing like outside, and then over time it'll disappear. No, like horses will be hooked up to it. You can't drive them around. Yes, it would have been nice, but this isn't the way it's gonna work. So it's just a production similar to the shipyard, where once you finish it, you get to see your finished product. You can walk around it and everything. Parkour on top of it if you want, pretend that you're sitting on it.
Farm sim players parkouring? No, we would never do that. We have seen them on the sunflower farm though. Was it Sunflower Farm, I think?
Yeah, that's it. Something like that.
How did it get all the way over there? And is it close? Do they have wings? How does this work?
It's a good question.
Is it Cinderella? Is that where she lives? Is that where she parked her car?
Oh, boy. I hope she's not in this one.
I need to know these things.
So we saw a little bit of the swathing going on with the Mac Dawn, of course. The first time I think we've seen any swathing in base game farm sim. Is there going to be any other alternatives to swathing? Do you know anything about more? Can we talk more about swathing at all? Is there anything you can give us any more?
Let's talk swathing, Clutch.
Let's talk swathing. What do you got for me, Kerm? Bye, DJ.
I didn't know I was part of this. You said I was trying to be funny.
So at launch, MacDon is the only way, but it'll be in the Giants editor day one for modders to access without having to have the MacDon pack installed. So once the first mod gets out there for swathing, then it's not base game still, but kinda is. Because the issue, of course, is that the MacDon pack is a pre-order bonus, right? Mm-hmm. So once the game launches, you'll need that to do swathing. But just like anything else we do, like we don't want to add a feature in at the beginning of a game and have it like be blocked by people that didn't pre-order, right? Your friend gets it the day after because he sees you playing it and wants to join you, and now all of a sudden he can't join your server because he doesn't have the MacDon pack or whatever, and you really want to do swathing. So there'll be options for people in the future through mods and other ways to be able to do swathing.
What do you want to talk about those other ways?
Well, you'll see in the future. Like, no, not at this time, but like with as soon as the first mod gets out, it'll be available in the mod hub for everybody. So, I thought that was a cool thing, to be honest, to make sure that like day one that modders would have access to that, because I know a lot of people are excited for swathing to be a thing in the game. So,
well, and I'm sure BC Bueller Farms will be jumping in doing his thing as well.
As usual.
Bring the swathing pack back. I was gonna ask a question, but I forgot what it was.
Good question.
Thanks, ma'am. You want to go while I try and remember what just happened?
Yeah, I would love to. We saw some new equipment potentially in the trailer. There looks like a Challenger in that first in that gameplay trailer. We can confirm that was a Challenger.
I don't know. Was it?
What?
Okay.
I mean, I feel like that means yes, but also it's you, so I don't know. It was shown again later in the video, pulling a Great Plains Cedar.
Plains Cedar.
Super duper cool. Great to see those
Just
in the
never
game again.
like scrolled around to the front, to the hood or the bonnet, and looked at the front of it to see any name tags. I was just wondering. As well, we saw an international Transtar semi truck, a cab over semi truck.
Transtar 2 Eagle, baby. Yeah.
I mean, pretty cool. I am super excited to see that in game. Is there any other trucks that we don't know or that might be put in that we can talk about, or is that the only one we're going to listen to right now? Or are you going to let us sit here and stew?
Yes, that one is in, but no, I'm not going to talk about anything else. Nice try, though.
Well, okay. All right, what about Mac? Is Mac back? No,
it should be.
Okay,
I mean, I don't know exactly all the brand. Like, there's so many machines. Yeah. When I was in Germany this last time, I got like 15 minutes to jump on the build. And I didn't play at all. All I did was go in the shop and just like, all right.
Yeah. What we do if we have 15 minutes. I get it.
Yeah.
Literally. Yeah.
So like, for example, like, you know, we tried to not remove any brands. Of course, that can happen if agreements fall through or whatever. But I'll use Kubota as an example, since we added Kubota as a DLC in 22. Yeah. Kubota will be in 25, but it's not going to be all the equipment that was in the 22 pack. Like, it'll be, and that isn't due to like them changing their mind or anything. It simply was, we had over 400, I think, approaching, you know, into the mid 400s or higher now, like machines to convert for the game. And we got to a point at the beginning of the year that it was like, there's no way we can get all of these, both old ones converted and new ones integrated in time. So what's going to happen is we'll have the free content updates that'll add some stuff. So some of the Kubota stuff, for example, that'll be missing will be added in a future free content update, and other brands as well, like et cetera, so on and so forth. So at launch, you're going to get some of the old stuff, of course, the really important new stuff as well, especially centered around the things that are new in the game, like the rice and spinach and stuff like that. But you will get more eventually as well through the free content updates.
Sweet. Okay. Yeah, free content updates. I like that.
Now, we've talked about the tractors. We talked about the twisters. There's a third thing I want to talk about, and it's third person. Tell me about it. What's been going on? Why are we seeing characters for the first time? We've never done this before.
Use your imagination.
No, you're doing it on purpose. I need answers.
Are we? Are we doing it on purpose?
Sure seems like it. I have to agree with DJ on this one, which it really hurts me to say.
Back him into a corner. We got him.
I don't think we got him.
I mean, you are right. We've never really shown this in trailers before. So
he said you're right, DJ. He said you're right.
Do with that what you will.
Yeah, clip only that part and use it for everything.
Yeah, just it's gonna be on the soundboard now.
Yeah,
you're right, DJ.
Say it one more time, exactly.
Speak that into my good ear, please.
All right, so you're doing it for a reason, but you're not telling us the reason.
No, not yet.
So, okay, well, let's brainstorm. What are other reasons? There are none. So that's it.
To drive DJ and clutch crazy. Like, that's a pretty good reason.
Yeah.
You know, I hate
just
that could be the explanation for something happening at Giant Software, but it's to that point now where I can just imagine Marcel going, he's going to hate this.
I've got one more graphical question for you. May or may not be able to answer this.
Okay.
The trailer showed one shot where it starts to rain before the twister comes out, and you're getting all these pretty little water droplets down the side of the mirrors, and like it's just starting to get a little bit bad, the weather. Do our windshields get rain, and do the wipers actually have an effect on them now? Do we know anything about that?
Yes, I believe so. I mean, keep in mind that this is a gameplay trailer and not a cinematic one. So
That's what I
anything-
thought. I couldn't tell like they just showed the mirror. It doesn't show the actual windscreens or anything like the windows around the tractor. I'm just hoping that we see something with the wipers moving the rain
think
off.
we
That's
could-
all.
Could we hear the wipers, if I remember right?
Yeah, well, it showed the wiper kind of moving, but you couldn't really see any raindrops on it. It just really shows off that mirror, and I'm like, oh, that would be kind of cool if, like, because right now the wipers work, but they don't really do anything in the grand scheme of things. So that's all.
Yeah, like this question was asked actually internally recently, and I'm trying to remember what the exact like answer and wording was. But from what I understand, yes, it's been added in 25.
Very cool.
Definitely, like we've already shown it like on the body. So like I don't want to 100% say windshield, like because I haven't seen it with my own eyes yet, and I don't remember what the answer was.
Okay.
But it definitely has already been shown and confirmed on like other parts of the tractor. So
Sweet.
that's an answer I'm comfortable with giving. I was trying to like see if I could scroll back, but that was like last week or the week before, I think, and yeah, I can't find it right now quick enough in the
Well, that's
chat.
an answer for me. That's something that's better than what I had beforehand. I'll take it.
Yeah, cool.
There it is.
I think that's the end of my questions, GoHam.
I think I'm out of questions as well. Kermit, do you have any questions?
I do.
Ooh,
Am I done? Can I leave now?
I think so. Big
No, I'm just
shouty outy to El Kermito 9000 for hanging out with us on his birthday. And
Yeah. Now I am.
We, and we hope you have a great day, dude.
Thanks. Yeah, don't bother me. I'm off.
I've already got Discord loaded up to start messaging you.
You can tell me happy birthday if you want. Anything else will be ignored. Until
Mission accepted.
I'm back.
Do this. All right. Uncomfortable slowly backing away from the camera?
And yeah, and don't do what people do. Like these messages bug me. I hate to bother you on your day off,
But
but
why do I feel like that's a me thing? Why do I feel like you're talking to me right now?
I never hate to bother you on your day off. I do it just because I know it's your day off. It's more for me, not for you.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for
Thanks, Kerm.
everything you do, and yeah, more info to come over the next couple of months. We're getting there. We're getting close. Lots of fun to be had and such
All right.
over the next few weeks.
Oh yeah.
brother.
Speaking of, I'll see you soon.
You
Yep,
got
see
something in
you
your
then.
eye. What's wrong with you?
I don't know. The first part of that was on purpose. The rest of it was just involuntary.
I like how this was supposed to be 20 minutes hard out. It's not, but
Yeah,
I
it
knew
never
that.
is.
I knew that going in.
Yep.
Thanks, Kerm. Appreciate you, brother.
All right. We'll see
You're
you.
welcome,
Kermit.
guys.
Bye, dude.
Bye. I didn't have to actually leave, right? You're stopping it.